beautiful beach day here in the Tampa area. And now time for Friday night college football. The undefeated Memphis Tigers on the road to take on the Bulls of South Florida. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming along with Mac Brown. Allison Williams is with us as well. Coach, the American Conference, this is a league game, and this league is off to a great start this year. And I think unquestionably the 4-0 Memphis Tigers are a contender in what promises to be a very competitive league.
Well, and the win last night of Cincinnati over Miami makes this game even bigger for Memphis because they're for real. And if they're going to represent that group of 5 at the end of the year or maybe get in the playoffs, they can't mess up tonight. They've got a week off, and then they host Ole Miss. So they got 3 big weeks ahead.
So those are big dreams, but the Tigers are set up to have a special season, and a big reason why is their quarterback. Paxton Lynch has become one of the top quarterbacks in all of college football.
Yes, he's somebody that everybody's talking about right now, Dave, and he's 6'7". He can run, he can throw. He's a guy that's gotten a lot better presence in the pocket the last couple of years. They've simplified the offense for him. But now he's got the big arm to go deep. He's got the ability to move right or left and throw with boots and nakeds. And he can also tuck it and run it in for the touchdown. So for South Florida to have a chance to win tonight, they're going to have to try to keep him from running all over the place.
So there is Paxton Lynch. You mentioned the height, 6'7". He's an incredible overall athlete. And look at the numbers, 73.5% completion rate through 4 games, 1,230 yards, 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's doing it with his legs. So Paxton Lynch has truly become a superstar for a resurgent Memphis program that just a few years ago was in very bad shape. And now the Tigers are feeling like they got a chance to crash those New Year's Bowl games, and maybe even with that big non-conference game coming up in a couple weeks that you mentioned, maybe even an outside chance to run the table and make an argument for the playoff. That would have been unheard of even just a couple years ago, but this program is flying high at the moment.
Yes, he's a guy that you can't make one-dimensional anymore because he can run it and he can throw it. So we'll get to see him first.
Now there's the head coach, Justin Fuente, his 4th year in charge of Memphis, and he has rebuilt this program. South Florida trying to make their way back into the upper echelon as well. They won the toss. They defer, so they kick off. And it is a touchback. For more on the quarterback as he makes his way onto the field, here's Allison Williams.
Yeah, Paxton Lynch back in his home state. He played high school at Trinity Christian Academy across the state in Deltona, Florida. Now, between an injury his senior year and the type of offense that they ran, he really wasn't recruited in high school. Some teams came in late, but Memphis was his first offer. He's a loyal guy, so he stuck with the Tigers. And you can imagine he is excited to be back here in Florida playing in front of friends and family. About 40 people in attendance to watch him. And guys, if he plays anything like he did last time he was in Florida, it should be fun. Dave, we had that game against BYU, the Miami Beach Bowl, threw for 4 touchdowns and ran for 3.
Yeah, he was tremendous in that bowl game, and his first pass is caught by Mose Frazier. Memphis does like to go up tempo as they get the offense rolling.
Great start, and they're already lined up again to go fast.
Lynch with that quick hitter out into the right flat. And that goes for a nice gain all the way out to the 45-yard line. This time Phil Mayhew. So we'll talk a lot about number 12, Paxton Lynch, back in his home state with the big numbers. You saw those high school numbers, and they were very modest. He played in a wing T offense. We talked to his high school head coach, Alan Johnson, about that. First run play for Memphis, and South Florida ready for that one. Sam Kraft stopped short of the first down.
The Memphis offensive staff has done a tremendous job of bringing him along, and as Paxton's gotten more confident, they've cut back on the offense.
So quickly to the line again. Almost every play will be out of the shotgun on 3rd and short. The handoff to Kraft, and he got close, but I'm not sure. And now the officials say he did get there. That'll be a Memphis first down, not by much.
They simplified the offense so he could be more confident, have a better presence in the pocket where he can stand, but also use his ability to run more.
Simplified it and made it even better. They put up a lot of points last year. They're ahead of their pace this season.
Here they're using motion to see if it's man or zone. Then they change the play from the sideline.
Now Frazier will come in motion. They'll fake the fly sweep action to him, give it to the tailback, who is stuffed. Dropped for a loss of a yard or so. our impact players, Coach, when Memphis has the ball?
When Memphis has got the ball, Sam Kraft is a guy that was an outstanding basketball player in high school, tremendous recruit. He has to have a good night to help keep the pressure off Paxton.
A second down and 11. First drive of the game. Memphis getting near midfield, and that pass a little high, incomplete with the hit coming low, intended for Tevin Jones to set up third and long. Dietrich Nichols with the coverage and the hit.
Big third down. Got to be smart. Take care of the ball early. He hasn't thrown a pick yet. Let's see if they go screen draw.
And I do think South Florida, they've been an inconsistent team so far this year. This is the best defense that Memphis has faced thus far. They got a lot of talent on this side of the ball. The Bulls do.
Yes, it looks like they're going to bring four and defend with a two-deep coverage.
With the four-man rush, Lynch now pressured and incomplete. Tried to dump it off to Kraft. He's arguing for a penalty flag, but no flag thrown. It's fourth down, and Memphis will have to punt the ball away.
It's a very good stop for South Florida, because for them to win this ball game, they're going to have some stops on defense and keep the ball on offense. Now they need a long, deliberate drive. They're not going to go as fast with their offense as Memphis.
The angled punt from Spencer Smith will take a bounce inside the 10, inside the 5, and it's going to come to a rest at about that 5-yard line. So excellent execution by Spencer Smith, and the Memphis special teams 49 yards with no return. And now the Bulls offense, which has been a struggling offense in their first 3 games, and their sophomore quarterback Quentin Flowers onto the field.
Well, Quentin has to do a good job tonight of running the football, and he'll have to act like a running back some, but he's also got to throw the ball better, because if you're Memphis, you're going to stop the running backs, because for South Florida to win the game tonight, it has to be because of plays made out of their backfield.
Well, they do have a really talented sophomore running back, Marlon Mack, number 5, who's on the right side of Flowers. Out of the shotgun, they will give it to Mack, straight ahead running, and Marlon Mack already breaking tackles. Gets out to the 11-yard line, and Coach, he is one of our impact players when South Florida has the ball.
Had 1,041 yards last year. He's one of the best runners in their history, and they've got Leonard Pegues has got to step up at middle linebacker for Memphis to try to slow Marlon Mack down.
As good as the Memphis offense has been, the Memphis defense has not been great. They'll pitch it, and that may count as a forward pass to Chris Barr, who tries to dive forward and get the first down. Depends on the spot, but I think he got there to the 15. It's 1st and 10 South Florida.
It counts as a forward pass, but it's really a run. So you can see what the game plan's going to be. The offenses are very similar, but they're going to run the football, try to slow the game down and stay on the field.
And that guy, number 1, Chris Barr, is a true freshman, getting more and more playing time. He went to the same high school as Paxton Lynch across the state in the Jacksonville area. Trinity Christian Academy. Here's Mack out into the open for a gain of 13 on first down. Marlon Mack, a little slow getting to the sideline. He is a really good running back.
Yes, he's one of the best running backs in the history of this young program, and also one of the best players in this league.
He was the freshman of the year in the American last year, true sophomore. And one of his backups, they'll use 3 different running backs. Darius Tice, without a lot of room, gets a couple yards on first down.
The Memphis front seven's really tough. That's why it's a little bit surprising that they're able to come out and run the ball this well on the first drive.
So it may not be an injury, it may just be a cleat problem for Marlon Mack. Trying to get the shoe tied and back on. Almost a pistol set. They hand it to Tice. Big hole up the middle, first down. Out to the 41-yard line. The Bulls, who started at their 5, are on the move.
This is a power play. It's off to the right, pulling the backside guard, and when you start
well, another quick snap using that tempo, and another handoff for Tice out to midfield. That's nearly 9 on first down. They are moving the ball on the ground.
Well, they are. Willie Taggart said he went home Sunday with an open date and talked to his mom. She says, "Why aren't you running that power play?" So I think these moms know what they're doing. So Willie listened.
Okay, good call, Mom. Well, they do have I think the strength of the South Florida team is their stable of running backs. They got 3 really good ones. Tice makes a man miss and gets the first down. Well, that's a pretty impressive 2-yard run across midfield into Memphis territory. Total offense percentage for South Florida, they lean on the ground game.
Well, and so far this first drive's working exactly like Coach Taggart wants it to. 65% run. At some point, you'll see Memphis start bringing more guys to the line of scrimmage, lowering those safeties, and trying to make Quentin Flowers beat him with the pass.
Well, Marlon Mack is back in the game. They got the shoe fixed. 7 plays, 4 first downs for the Bulls, and across midfield on the move. Still early in this game, scoreless. Mack gets the handoff here, and another nice hole. Man, there's nothing nuanced here. Now a flag thrown late in that play. In fact, 2 of them. As Mack took a hit at the end of the run, right around a 10-yard carry. We'll see what the penalty is. Todd LaPenta, part of this crew in the American Athletic Conference.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 27, using the crown of the helmet. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, they started at the 5-yard line. They've already gone 71 yards on this drive. Flowers looking to throw downfield, wide open, and the pass is caught inside the 10, still going inside the 5. The tight end, one of the captains of this team, Sean Price. It's 1st and goal for South Florida.
When you can run the ball, it opens up the play action pass. And all the linebackers stepped up. There was a hole in there from the safeties, and Sean Price, who's on the Mackey watch list, catches it and runs it. Great run after the catch down to the goal line. A lot of momentum now for South Florida.
Yeah, they had that little pitch play early in the drive. That's the first true drop back pass play, and it was a good one. Now Marlon Pope, the tight end, trying to get lined up properly. On 1st and goal, they hand it off. Tice cuts middle and is stopped short of the goal line. Tackled at the 1 by Chris Morley, who's one of those players who will try to help fill the void of Dion Whitty. Well, the Bulls want to go quickly here on 2nd and goal. They get set. Flowers takes the snap. Tice stuffed again. And I think he lost a yard or so. Back around the 2. Maybe they'll give him some forward progress near the original line of scrimmage.
And if you're South Florida here, you don't want to come away with 3 points. You need to get a touchdown to give your team confidence after the tough game they had last week at Maryland.
So Willie Taggart, you wonder whether he's thinking about 2 more tries for the end zone here on 3rd and goal.
And you're playing against a very high-scoring Memphis team, averaging about 53 points a game. So you're going to need touchdowns, not field goals.
I think that's a good point. But still Tice, not Mack, in the backfield. In motion, the fake on the fly sweep. Tice straight ahead, end zone, touchdown. What a start for the South Florida offense from the 5 into the end zone, 95 yards with the extra point coming. "12 plays, better than 5 minutes. Their longest drive by yardage of the year. Kick is up and good. And Mack said it. South Florida, what a start. The Bulls with a 7-0 lead against undefeated Memphis. Mack, you and I talked about it right from the start. It's been an exciting year for the American with still more big non-conference opportunities to come in the month of October and November.
It is. There's some really good teams in this league, and it's going to be fun to watch it play out.
So the kickoff deep, and it'll be taken to the end zone. Jalen Oglesby returns, and he gets tackled almost by the jersey, stays on balance, stays on his feet, out to the 35-yard line. Impressive return for Oglesby. So Memphis will have pretty good field position for its 2nd drive of the night.
Well, and I think the message from Memphis is we're going to do whatever we need to do to win this football game.
Yep.
So he is going to run the football tonight. He's like a running back in the backfield with a fast guy coming underneath to fake the speed sweep.
And he was a running back before he grew so tall. He became a quarterback in high school. Moving around in the pocket. A dangerous throw, but it's caught inside the 35 and now down to about the 25. Proctor again with the reception. So Paxton Lynch into traffic, but a nice delivery.
This is what he does to beat you. There's a really good pass rush. 95% of the quarterbacks in America are sacked right there. He ends up turning it into a big first down and momentum for Memphis.
28-yard gain Memphis has had to play from behind. They're 4-0. They've put up a huge number of points and yards, but in just about every game, they've had to come from behind. That throw down the sideline, it was right there, incomplete, intended for Frazier. There was tight coverage from Nichols. But the comebacks that we are speaking of for Memphis, they're comfortable in this position. A lot of confidence in their offense. Against Kansas, trailed by 10, won by 32. Down at Bowling Green, a very good team, won a close game. Down against Cincinnati, won that game with all kinds of offense on both sides. Lynch, handoff, pushed out of bounds. That's Anthony Miller, who is a wide receiver. That fly sweep type action, jet sweep stuff that Memphis likes to use.
Hurts the eye discipline of the South Florida defense, but Memphis lost 8 starters on defense and 4 backups last year, and they've got a new defensive coordinator in Galen Scott. So they've got a lot to learn too. South Florida has 2 new coordinators.
3rd and 7 for Memphis. Lynch, option type play. He's going to keep it. Paxton Lynch just didn't have anywhere to go. Pushed backwards, hit hard, got to the 19. So he gained a few yards, but he needed more, and he gets up a little bit slowly. Tigers will bring the offense off the field and bring out their excellent place kicker.
Here's the option left. You see pretty good blocking up front. The safety comes up and turns him up inside. And when he's turned up inside, all of a sudden, all the pursuit from the backside keeps him from making the first down.
Well, Jake Elliott, who has a very powerful leg. This one 36 yards from that left side. The kick is up, and it is no good. Wide left. Well, the Bulls are pumped up, and Memphis thinking about what went wrong there. Their ultra reliable kicker misses just left, and South Florida lead is still 7-0. Sunset time. They're beautiful here in the Tampa area. That's Hogan's Beach, and the South Florida Bulls with a 7-0 lead. Great start for them. 4:15 still to go in the first quarter. So a nice setting outside. Beautiful setting here inside the NFL stadium that the Bulls share with the Bucks. And Quentin Flowers and the South Florida offense back on the field. Marlon Mack with the first down carry for a yard. 10 rushing plays on South Florida's first drive of the game, so they want to keep the ball on the ground.
They had an open date so they could change their game plan, change their thoughts. They self-scouted the first 4 games. So Memphis is seeing a different South Florida team.
2nd down and 9. Tight end in motion. Another handoff to Mack. Those legs keep moving, but a little tougher to find the extra yards so far. Now 2 flags thrown at the end of that play. Ricky Hunter in on the stop.
Personal foul. Defense. Number 98. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Now Jared Gentry, a true freshman, big kid. Called for a personal foul.
Ricky Huntley's trying to help him there a little bit. Tell that freshman, keep your hands to yourself. Make the tackle. Good play. Ricky Huntley, one of the great players. If those kids play like he does, they're going to have a good night on defense. But you can already see that Memphis is making adjustments to get closer to the line of scrimmage to try to stop the run.
So that penalty moves the ball. It was going to be 3rd and long. First down out near the 40. And another play where they get Mack out in space. There goes Marlon Mack, tripped up inside the 35 down to about the 32-yard line. You saw the burst from the sophomore, number 5.
He is really a good football player. It's a speed sweep, good kick out. He turns up inside and outruns a lot of players. When you start looking at the guy, Leonard Pegues is a senior that saves that touchdown play.
Well, that is about a dream start for South Florida, but still looking for more points. But that play clock down to 5 and a bad snap. Flowers may have mishandled it himself, and he does well to get right back near that line of scrimmage. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, we talked about Gudmundsson with the snaps, with all the movement with the Memphis defense. He's a new center. It's been tough for him. You've got a young quarterback. Things are going so well. You can't stop yourself. Stay ahead of the chains.
Final 40 seconds or so of this first quarter. A quarter that's really been dominated by the South Florida rushing offense. Both Johnson and Marlon Mack are in the game. Mack out left almost like a slot receiver. Here comes Mack into the backfield, and they fake it to him. Flowers throws to the end zone, incomplete. Very high, intended for Chris Barr.
Again, play action pass. Good protection because they're running the ball so well. But for them to win this football game with the scoring machine that Memphis is, Quentin Flowers is going to have to hit some of those plays because that's a one-on-one shot down the middle of the field that could have been a score.
On the first drive, they had that 3rd and goal from about a yard out. This is their first real 3rd and long situation of the game.
Probably a quarterback draw or screen.
Play fake. Pressure comes. Flowers gets away. Trying to stay alive. He'll throw. It is complete along the sideline, but short of a first down inside the 15. Rodney Adams with the catch, but presumably the field goal team is going to come out, and that looks like the decision for Willie Taggart.
Yes, a really good job by Quentin Flowers of not taking the sack. He either needed to throw the ball away or get it down for a shorter field goal.
Now that will be the last play of the first quarter. So a field goal try when we come back to Tampa. South Florida off to a great start. Memphis favorite on the road, undefeated team with the high-powered offense, but it's been Marlon Mack and company for the Bulls. They lead 7-0. Dave Fleming, Mack Brown, Allison Williams back here in Tampa, South Florida, and Willie Taggart with a 7-0 lead. First play of the second quarter coming up here, and it'll be a 31-yard field goal try for Emilio Nadelman after South Florida moves the ball down the field, which was a theme of the first quarter.
Yes, they've had the ball 22 plays to 14 for Memphis, 9.5 minutes to 5.5. The game plan is working exactly like the Bulls want it to.
So here's the field goal try. Good snap, good hold, kick up and right down the middle. Nadelman 3 for 3 field goals so far this year. Taggart and company are happy. South Florida with the 10-0 lead.
So Flow uniforms are going fast right now, Dave, right. So they're moving.
Kickoff deep and brought back for Memphis. That's Oglesby again to the 35 to the 40, and he hurdles a tackler out near midfield. Spectacular return for Jalen Oglesby. Now Memphis trying to get its offense going. Lynch with a nice play fake, and he's got an open receiver for a first down completion already into South Florida territory.
When you've got a quarterback like Paxton Lynch, you can catch up so quickly. So they have the good play action on first down. Good call by the Memphis offensive staff.
That's Sam Kraft, who is listed as a running back. He's a guy who'll do everything. He comes toward the backfield. They fake it to him, hand it off left side running, and a good tackle there for South Florida. That's Sean Hill with the tackle. Dorland Dorcius with the carry.
We see here they fake the speed sweep to the right, counter play back up inside. Good blocking, but better play by the defensive line of South Florida, which is really the strength of their defense.
8 times Memphis has run the ball so far in the first half. Longest gain 3 yards. And that stands because they lost a half a yard there. It'll be 3rd and long.
The Memphis coaches knew they were going to have trouble blocking that front, especially with Sanat, but they also felt like they'd have to spread the field. So I think you'll see Memphis start trying to get the ball east and west.
That was Eric Lee, one of the captains for the Bulls. 3rd and 11. Lynch looking middle. Nice pass, caught first down, and all the way down to the 20.
Huge play for Memphis. Hurts the momentum some, gives them a chance to score. They've talked about Paxton's presence in the pocket. Really good protection, but he sits right in there, steps up and throws the ball to Jalen Oglesby. That young man's going to be a special player for Memphis.
Big time. We've seen him on kick returns, now in the passing game. So they needed 11 and they got 18 so far. So good for Lynch. No huge explosive plays, but he's been accurate. Lynch in the pocket over the top. He's got his man caught. Touchdown, Sam Kraft.
That was a great job by the Memphis staff of putting the fast Sam Kraft on Augie Sanchez down the middle, one-on-one. Very difficult for a linebacker to cover a fast back in space. So we see here Sam comes out of the backfield. Augie really doesn't see him. Then he can't catch up. Outstanding throw with Paxton Lynch. That's what keeps Memphis being what they are.
The quick strike capability of the Tigers. So Lynch with the touchdown delivery. Extra point coming here for Jake Elliott, who's made 108 of these in a row. And now it's 109. Well, coach talked about it. Speed against the linebacker. Speed wins. Touchdown Tigers. It's a 10-7 South Florida lead. Memphis on the board. South Florida. You see the head coach Willie Taggart, his third year in charge of this program, talking to Augie Sanchez, his sophomore linebacker. Bulls lead 10-7. Willie Taggart has got such a close personal connection to the Harbaugh family, recruited by Jack Harbaugh, was a star at Western Kentucky, was a part of Jim Harbaugh's staff. You see Jack and Jackie, who really, I mean, Willie talks about him like they're his own mom and dad. He has become a huge part of the Harbaugh family. And I bet you they're watching tonight and proud of Willie Taggart for the success he's had and rooting for him to get this program going.
Yes, I think he's kind of like an extended family member, and Jack and Jim and John are like the first family in football right now. Doing a great job.
Kickoff deep, and it'll be a touchback. South Florida will start at the 25. Now, this is an interesting scenario. Memphis and South Florida, they each have all three of their timeouts. It's 1st and 10, 1:54 to go until halftime. And back at the 12-yard line, the Bulls on offense will hand the ball to Marlon Mack, who gets tripped up. A gain of a couple yards. Down on the sideline, that Notre Dame Clemson game. More information from our own Allison Williams.
Yeah, I talked to Heather Cox, who's working the sidelines for that game, and boy, do I feel for her with that weather tomorrow night that's expected. She did say for Clemson, a bigger emphasis on the run game for them. They did practice with wet footballs all week, and Dabo Swinney said we can't be as crisp and precise in the passing game with the rain, so we have to win it in the trenches.
Yeah, Heather will be wet tomorrow. We know that, that's for sure. Good tackle by Avery and company. And now a timeout used by Memphis with third down setup here. Justin Fuente, I think he can sense an opportunity for his offense if they can stop the Bulls on third down and get the ball back.
Yes, he'll use another timeout on third down if they don't make the first down. And then he keeps a timeout in his pocket for its 1-minute offense here at the end of the half. South Florida does get the ball to start the second half, but they do not need to give Memphis points and let them take momentum into halftime. This is a critical play for the Bulls.
So do you like the way that Memphis handled that? They let the clock roll after the first down play. Second down, they got the stop and used the timeout.
It's exactly what we would have done. You don't want them to make the first down, and you've given them more time on the clock. So wait and see. But now third down and 6. The Bulls are going to have to open up their playbook, and they may have to throw it. So you might have 2 timeouts left if it's an incomplete pass.
So Flowers in the shotgun. He's going to try to run. He gets away from Dillon, but not the second tackler. Now the ball is out, but the whistle blows. The play was down. That would have been a complete disaster for South Florida. Instead, it's fourth down. Memphis uses that second timeout. The Bulls will have to punt.
Let's watch number 34, Jackson Dillon, as he comes up and forces the quarterback outside. If he gets to go straight up the field, he makes the first down. But he makes him bounce outside, and then a tremendous tackle by Regis Ball.
Matthias Chabati, one of the best punters in the country. And they're going to lean on him here. He's pressured, but he gets off a booming punt, and I mean booming. Way back there to about the 23. With some blocking. It's Proctor to the 25, to the 30, out to the 40. Proctor to midfield and finally pushed out of bounds. So the big punt, but the big return. Will take a quick break. Be back in 30 seconds. 57 on the clock for Memphis to try to get points after this. Under a minute to go until halftime. Memphis runs the ball on first down, and the ball carrier out of bounds at Sam Kraft. Memphis has 1 timeout. They've got a field goal kicker with a lot of range. Down 3, 53 seconds until halftime.
They ran that option into the boundary, and Sam Kraft was smart. He stepped out of bounds because it stops the clock, and you can use the boundary as your friend like a timeout.
Plenty of time on the play clock. Kraft in the backfield alongside Lynch. They fake that jet sweep. Lynch pressured as he throws, and it is incomplete. Good coverage intended for Mayhew along the sideline. Third down. Got to be impressed with the way South Florida's defense has played in the first half.
These guys have played well. I know Tom Allen has to be really impressed, and you can see that he's made some adjustments since the Maryland game 2 weeks ago.
Third down's been tough for Memphis. Lynch, a little pump fake, and now the ball is batted in the air and almost intercepted. Incomplete. And that South Florida defense, Demetrius Hill leading the way. He got his hands up. There's an impressive stop.
Yes, there's a twist up inside here as we look at the difference when you got Sanat coming around. All of a sudden they get a stalemate, and big number 9, Demetrius Hill, is like a defensive back knocking it down. So twist up inside, good pickup by Memphis, but when you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up, knock the ball down.
High punt, fair catch signal, and the fair catch made at about the 12-yard line. 36 seconds to go. You wonder how aggressive South Florida's offense will be. Now, South Florida, they did take their first drive 95 yards into the end zone. Memphis's defense has played better since then. Both defenses, I think, have to be happy with the way the first half has gone overall. Mack gets the ball, trying to cut it upfield, and most importantly, just hang on to the ball. He lost a yard.
Take care of the ball. Some coaches will take a knee so they won't have a chance to fumble. Some other coaches think, what the heck, you might squirt it through and get a 90-yard run there. But the punters and the defenses have definitely been the most valuable players in our first half.
Well, now they don't have to run another play, and so Willie Taggart will take the headset off and lead his South Florida team toward the locker room. The Bulls, pretty big underdogs at home, and yet they lead at halftime 10-7. Stay tuned for an interview with Willie Taggart.
Coach Taggart, you said you were going to recommit to running the football. We've certainly seen that in the first half. How do you continue to run with success in the second half?
Well, our guys just got to continue to play with great effort, and our backs got to continue to run the ball hard. And our O-line just got to continue to do what they're doing. They've been really physical up front and controlling the line of scrimmage, and it's important that we do that in the second half.
Friday night in Tampa. And South Florida playing at home with an excellent first half. They lead undefeated Memphis 10-7. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams back with you here at Raymond James Stadium. Memphis came in averaging 53 points a game, Coach. South Florida slowed them down, not just with their defense, but also with their offense.
Well, I think what happened is Willie Taggart said, we're going to be physical, and we're going to be more physical on both sides of the line of scrimmage. He had a week off. Here's a speed sweep to Marlon Mack. He breaks tackles. Here's an off-tackle power play where Mack's patient. He cuts back, but there's a lot of movement up front. Then you can have penetration if you're going to run the option. And all of a sudden, Awalike's in the backfield, and Hector makes the tackle, and then they try to hand the ball off. A lot of penetration up front by this Bulls defense.
They call themselves the Bull Sharks on defense, and they played like it in that first half. Really impressive against one of the highest scoring teams in the country, and they get the ball to start the second half, or do they? Onside kick, and Memphis has the ball. Elliott recovered it himself, just totally takes South Florida by surprise. Now the Bulls are arguing that they weren't ready to go. Willie Taggart looks stunned on the sideline, but the onside kick, and Elliott recovered it himself.
On the field, the ball traveled 10 yards, recovered by the kicking team, first down.
Wow.
Well, great decision by the coaching staff of Memphis. All of a sudden, you can see he kicks it. They've been watching that front throughout the ball game. It did go 10 yards, and anytime the guys lose focus up front on the return team and start going back too soon, you kick it right at them and have a couple of blockers to help you. Great play to start the moment of the second half.
Yeah, that's an All-American type kicker, and he just executed that perfectly. Now a throw to the tight end, Allen Cross for the catch on first down, and we'll send it downstairs to Allison Williams.
We'll see if Memphis's offense can take advantage of that onside kick. Head coach Justin Fuente told me at the half that they weren't exactly slopping around on offense, but they definitely needed to be more efficient. Defensively, he said, I'm proud of the way they hung in there against the run. They added some more guys to the box to help them to hold up, but he did say it's tough with a quarterback that can run the ball, the stuff USF.
And coach, they started at the 48, their own 48, exactly where they started after their onside kick to begin the half. Paxton Lynch, another handoff, this time not nearly as much room. A gain of 2. Memphis has had a lot of third downs. This will be another one. They're 4 of 10 on third down so far in the game.
Yes, I'm sure the Memphis staff talked to them about converting third and fourth downs, and all of a sudden you're sitting here with Lynch. He's got to start converting these on third down.
He's gone a little cold after a hot start in this game. Guys put up huge numbers from the end of last year, carried it on into this season, and they need him to play well in this second half. 3rd and 3, and they give the ball on that fly sweep with a blocker in front. First down and more. Down the left sideline, that's Jalen Oglesby. We have been impressed by him. He's a talent.
Well, it's really good job blocking. Number 1 by the inside slot of the Memphis football team. You start looking outside, cross blocked well, the slot blocked well, and then all of a sudden big Jarvis Cooper is blocking without the ball. Really good sequence there for a first down on third down.
Oh, 1st and 10, Memphis. Pressure for Lynch, and he is sacked for a big loss. Tayshawn Whitehurst. We'll see where they spot the ball. They're not going to spot it all the way back there, but they bring it back to about the 43-yard line.
When we start looking at number 51, he came free off of the corner. There was a mistake up front. It's a screen with the back coming up underneath, but somebody needed to at least touch that defensive end before they had a chance to get the screen off.
A loss of 14 yards. They get a lot of that back on the completion on second down, and then a hard shove out of bounds. Memphis wanted a penalty. Phil Mayhew with the catch to set up third down.
It's been a really physical football game. Now they're at least back in a position where you can look at 4 downs here, even though one of the best field goal kickers in the country could tie this ball game.
You got Lynch and Kraft in the backfield.
Big play call for Memphis. South Florida moving around in disguise.
3rd and 13. Lynch pressured again, and he gets it off. Incomplete, trying to dump it to Kraft. That was Demetrius Hill with the pressure.
Demetrius Hill coming up for the pressure. He also batted down a pass earlier on third down. He's become a force with that defensive front.
Yeah, he's played well for Tom Allen and company.
Coming off the corner, number 9. He comes around. You've got Fallon, one of the best offensive tackles in the country, a pro prospect, and he just whiffed him. Really good play, though, by Paxton Lynch, not taking the sack. Now you've got the long field goal.
Well, Jake Elliott, he certainly has the leg. His career long came in this stadium, and it was 56 yards. This one officially 49, and it is good with plenty to spare. So the 49-yard field goal ties the game. 9:37 to go in the third quarter. Memphis and South Florida 10-10. 10-10 ball game. Third quarter, Memphis and South Florida. Another booming kickoff. And off on first down. That time the Memphis defense was ready for Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack, number 5 for South Florida. Kid from Sarasota, so a local player. Very good high school player. A lot of big-time programs, SEC programs liked him as a defensive back. The Bulls gave him a chance to stay close to home and play running back, and he's one of the better players in the American Conference. Flowers faked it to him, kept it, and neither decision was going to be a good one. Memphis's defense was right there.
Well, he's also a very impressive young man. We met with Marlon yesterday, and he's a team leader and an upbeat young guy. But now you're putting the Bulls in a position that they're not really designed for. This third down and long, and I think we'll see them be smart with the ball.
And Marlon Mack has South Florida. They've got a lot of talent on this roster, and they have beaten some SEC teams for the good local talent. So much talent here in this Bay Area. Flowers on 3rd and long, dumps it off. The screen pass. Dearness Johnson is shoved out of bounds. He was fighting for it, and I think they spotted him about a yard short, maybe a half a yard short. It's 4th down, and we'll see. Is Willie Taggart bold enough near midfield to go for it? He's going to send the punt team out.
He is going to send the punt team out. Once again, here's a position where you could run a fake. So the Memphis defense is going to line up in a safe position because they're going to make sure that they don't fake this ball.
Well, the fans not thrilled. Chabadi is not faking it. He's going to kick it deep, high and deep. Proctor, fair catch signal, makes it around the 7-yard line. I think. And I do think that fans have gotten frustrated. We have seen a lot of that for whatever reason. Maybe it's nothing new this year, but there have been some high-profile spots where teams midfield plus territory, 4th and short, punting the ball away. Handoff for Memphis, starting to find some room. Finally in the ground game, this was Dorland Dorcius, one of the 4 running backs that they use for a nice 1st down run.
Yeah, we're seeing Memphis come out with the power play, pulling both backside guys, and you've got Dorland downhill. So I think we're going to see them be more physical, try to take some pressure off Lynch, and then try to hit something big off play action.
And remember, in case you missed it, Lynch, handoff again. Nowhere to go for Dorcius this time, just across the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. Demetrius Hill with another tackle. He's playing a heck of a game. But Mose Frazier, who is their leading receiver at wide receiver, was called on a special teams play for targeting in the 1st half, so he is not available here in the 2nd half for Memphis.
Well, and a leader. They've also had some trouble in protection. Tom Allen is worried about pressure off the corner, but Demetrius Hill is answering those questions for him tonight.
Play fake. Lynch throws. He's got his man caught. Turned upfield. 1st down. That's Anthony Miller, that former walk-on who's turned into a reliable possession receiver for the Tigers.
Yeah, when we asked Coach Fuente yesterday about Anthony Miller, he lit up and he said he is a tough young man. He's a spunky young man, and he feels really good about himself as a player. That's the kind of guy you need when you're in trouble on the road.
No big explosive plays, though, for the Tigers. Lynch on the move, throwing it downfield, over top the coverage. There's a big play. The receiver caught it, then stepped out of bounds, so it will be ruled a catch. Phil Mayhew, the sophomore, trying to stay in bounds. If he had, he might have gone for 6 points.
Once again, this one's on the quarterback. He pumps it flat. He gets the eyes of the defensive back to look back into the backfield for him and throws it over the top for a huge play.
Well, and you see, he definitely stepped out of bounds. Mayhew did do a good job making sure he got the catch inbounds. So a legal catch. And now Memphis into South Florida territory. Dorsey is cutting it back, going backwards. Staying on his feet, just trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he can't quite do that. He loses a yard after he ran, what, 40 yards on the play.
Well, and we have to give credit time and time again to that Tom Allen defense because of penetration. You're not going to consistently run the ball if you're allowing penetration up front. And both of these defenses play a whole lot of guys, so they should not be getting tired here. But Tom's done a tremendous job tonight with this defense.
And we got 5.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Memphis averaging 53 points a game. They've got 10 tonight. Dorcius inside the 25, down to about the 27. Augie Sanchez. We haven't called his name that often tonight. The middle linebacker with the tackle.
They really like Augie Sanchez. He's a guy that's got history here. His brother played here. His sister came to school here. And he missed the 1st half of the Maryland game because of a targeting shot at Florida State. Good to have him back.
It was a big call in that Florida State game when South Florida was still close on the road in Tallahassee. Lynch on 3rd down, right to the marker. And where will they spot Roderick Proctor? I think he gave him a good spot. That's a 1st down, Memphis.
The coaches talked a lot about that pocket presence. When you start looking at Paxton Lynch, he stayed in there. He didn't flinch at all. He didn't move out too soon. Really good throw and catch. I think we're going to see Paxton Lynch pick it up here in the 2nd half, just like he did against Cincinnati.
Well, they're not quite in the red zone. They've been one of the best red zone teams in the country this year. Handoff and then a pass fake to Kraft. South Florida's defensive front has just made it so tough on Memphis tonight.
And that's not a surprise for the Memphis coaches, Dave. They sat there and told us this is the best part of their football team on defense. Their backs are the best part of their football team on offense. And they knew that these two groups would give them trouble tonight, and they have.
We keep showing the defensive coordinator, Tom Allen. I think he's a name to remember. I mean, I think he is a rising defensive coaching star in college football. They're doing a heck of a job tonight. Lynch going toward the end zone, into coverage, almost intercepted. Ronnie Hoggins, who is a true freshman who started the first game of his career tonight with the coverage. They really like him.
And this is a really good defensive play by the offensive player because he had to knock that ball loose. They can't afford an interception here and come away with no points.
Intended for Miller. Ronnie Hoggins, true freshman. They think he's a star in the making at cornerback.
Yeah, he had 15 interceptions in high school, and they say he's got a lot of takeaways in practice, so he earned the right to start.
He almost had his first college interception there. Tight end cross in motion. 3rd and 9. Lynch with a lot of time this time, but nowhere to throw the ball. Now he finds a man open, and the catch inside the 10, and a broken tackle down to the 5 by Phil Mayhew. Well, great play by Paxton Lynch, and then a super catch from Mayhew, 1st and goal.
Yes, they decided to rush 3 men this time. Really good protection, and Paxton Lynch can stand back there and look and look. Right now it would be a coverage sack, but watch his mobility moving to his left. Good soft throw to Mayhew downfield. Huge first down for Memphis. I like this drive with Paxton Lynch.
So now it's 1st and goal. Lynch in a pistol type formation, brings Kraft into the backfield and hands it off. Straight ahead running inside the 3-yard line, close to the 2. On this drive, Paxton Lynch 4 of 5, 72 yards.
It's what your quarterback has to do. Older guy, step up, settle things down, make plays.
This time, handoff again. Dorcius, nowhere to go. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Augie Sanchez in on the tackle. It'll be 3rd and goal.
I think now, guys, we'll see probably Paxton Lynch moving. It'll be an option. It'll be a naked. It'll be a bootleg. It'll be a sprint. But they're probably going to move him most likely to this side because he's got the field toward us, toward the right.
3rd and goal. Lynch is going to keep it straight ahead. Touchdown. Well, he was on the move all right, but instead of side to side, straight to the goal line.
Well, they used their eye candy with their formations with the speed sweep to make it look like they were going wide. They got the South Florida defenders to look outside. If you watch them here, they just rushed outside. Pulling guard pulled up inside. Very well designed play. Quarterback keeper for a touchdown.
Well, you said it. Number 43, that middle linebacker, Augie Sanchez, he went with the flanker there, and that middle was wide open for Paxton Lynch. 93 yards, and Memphis, for the first time in the game, has the lead, and it's their star quarterback, Paxton Lynch, running one in. 17-10 Tigers. And the Memphis Tigers lead for the first time 17-10 over the Bulls of South Florida. And the problem is in trying to defend Memphis, and that was a breakdown for a South Florida defense that has played so well tonight. Memphis averaging 53 points a game. A kick return this time, but not a lot of room. Now bouncing off the tackle, going backwards. The return man all the way across the field. Rodney Adams. Not good field position for South Florida before they get the ball. All right, and thank Temple with already an impressive win against Penn State. Really a dominating win against Penn State. First down run, nowhere to go. Jannard Avery for Memphis. You said it, Coach. Memphis in the second half, they are going to try their best to force South Florida to throw the ball. They are ganging up on the run.
Well, and Memphis has got one of the longest win streaks in the country at 11. I think they're 3rd, and South Florida's trying to learn to win. So the last 5 drives, they've shut them down.
Only Ohio State and TCU have won more consecutive games than Memphis. There's a shot down the field, and it's caught. The tight end, Sean Price, right near midfield. They had to take a shot, and they connect.
Well, and when you're in some trouble, your senior leaders, your captain has to step up. All of a sudden, you've been running the ball so well. Play action once again. The Memphis linebacker step up. Great throw to the tight end.
39 yards, Marlon Mack to the line of scrimmage. They'll continue to try to stop the run for South Florida. But the Bulls may have to do a little bit more of that. Take some shots down the field.
Yeah, Leonard Pegues with a really good play to tackle him for no gain. I can promise you, Memphis said, we'll let them take some shots, but they're not going to beat us running the ball like they did the first half.
All three of the running backs in the game at the same time. Play fake. They're going to screen it out to Dearness Johnson. Defense right there, though. Read that perfectly, and it's that same guy you just mentioned. Leonard Pegues with another tackle.
Yes, they tried to take a deep shot off play action again. They had one-on-one, but once again, Quentin Flowers wasn't comfortable and confident enough to lay that ball out because he had a chance with one-on-one coverage.
Instead, it's 3rd and 10.
And I think we're going to see Memphis say Quentin Flowers throwing the ball has to beat us here in the 4th quarter.
And we're almost at that 4th quarter. Play clock is off, so South Florida may just decide to let the clock wind down and take this 3rd down play as the first play of quarter number 4. That's what they do. Now playing from behind at home. Memphis 17, South Florida 10, 4th quarter coming up. South Florida, we mentioned that number, 4th worst team in FBS. 3rd down conversion rate coming into tonight. The pass, a deep shot downfield, incomplete. Adams with speed had a couple of steps, and Flowers knows he just missed one. It's 4th down.
Well, and Willie Taggart kept saying they're getting so close. That's what they have to do to start winning. You got a guy wide open for a score on 3rd down and 16. Big mistake by Memphis. They've given up some deep throws, but you've got to hit that throw to beat a good football team.
That hurts. That was a chance to tie the game. Chabadi with another punt coming. He's been busy tonight. Gets off a huge punt. And the return is dropped. Ball's on the field, but Memphis gets it back. Wow. Lanier recovered it after it was Roderick Proctor who put it on the ground. That would have been an enormous play. 53-yard punt and nearly a turnover.
Well, this is what has to happen right now for South Florida to have a chance to win the ball game. They've played it well, and all of a sudden, Tayshawn Whitehurst is kicking himself because that ball fell right in front of him, and he couldn't fall on it for the big takeaway.
Yeah, it's hard to blame him. He's flying down the field, going into sort of a slide, but the ball was there for the taking. And you can tell he's kicking himself. 1st and 10, Memphis. Paxton Lynch with the play fake. Looking to throw, deep middle, incomplete. Well, and we want that update. Temple in the American, another one of those teams we've been talking about tonight, along with Memphis, trying to make that argument perhaps at the end of the year as the best group of 5 team. What a pitch play that is. And that's Jalen Oglesby down the sideline, finally pushed out of bounds, but a big gain for Memphis.
Very good execution on the option by Paxton Lynch. Guy comes in his face, he pitches his outside, and we've talked about the speed of Oglesby. Right now, he and Anthony Miller seem to be the 2 fastest players in space for Memphis.
31 yards. He's carried the ball twice. He's got 47 rush yards as a wide receiver. So the big play for Memphis out near midfield. They fake that end around and throw a screen, and it's blocked nicely. Down the field, 40, 35, 30, still going to the 20. Cutting it back middle, on his feet, Dorcius, end zone, what a play, touchdown. 55 yards, and he did almost all of that himself. The sophomore Dorland Dorcius. Tom Allen, the defensive coordinator, cannot believe it.
He's dying there. His defense has been on the field a whole lot this second half. Guys got tired. They didn't tackle well there in space.
86 yards in 3 plays, and the last 2 covered almost all of that. Extra point coming for Jake Elliott. It is up, and it is good. So 2 huge plays for Memphis to pad the lead.
What a great play call. 2 fakes, screen play outside. One of the best runs we've seen all year. Great play. Memphis 24-10.
24-10 here. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams. Memphis with the 2-touchdown lead after the big drive and touchdown for the Tigers.
And now Memphis has been out there 64 plays to 51. The last 3 drives, field goal, touchdown, and touchdown by Memphis. They're wearing South Florida down.
And the South Florida offense needs to come back to life. Success early, not much lately. Adams in the kick return game, picking his way forward, gets out to the 30-yard line. That's where the Bulls will have the ball. We've been talking a lot about Memphis and where they fit in these group of 5 contenders. Remember, a champion from the group of 5 conferences gets a guaranteed New Year's 6 bowl game. There are others, but we think these 5 stand out so far.
I like this. We saw Boise last week. They were very impressive. Toledo goes to Arkansas and wins. They beat Iowa State. Houston is at Louisville and wins. They've got Tulsa tomorrow. Really good teams out there. Temple winning big tonight. A lot of fun ahead.
Yeah, and, you know, those opportunities for bigger wins as Mack catches the ball out of the backfield. So a nice gain for South Florida. Out to the 47-yard line, 16 yards for the Bulls on first down. Memphis has a chance against a power from the SEC. Temple has a chance against what is at the moment a top 10 Notre Dame team. Flowers rolling right, looking downfield. Flowers will run out of bounds. Got dragged out of bounds. South Florida wanting a flag. No penalty flag thrown. And no horse collar, just dragged him down by the jersey.
DeMarco Montgomery, clean play. Just football.
3:26 to go. But South Florida's down 2 scores.
Yeah, and I like what I'm seeing out of Quentin Flowers here. He is moving. His eyes are downfield. He's being a passer, but he also can run the ball. These are the type situations that he's going to have to use to grow up in so they can have a more balanced offense.
Well, the South Florida coaches know a lot more about offense than I do, but I think that they need to do more of this with him. This style of play calling, even in the normal course of a game, not 2-minute offense, not hurry up offense. Let him move around a little bit more. Because he is an excellent athlete back there. He'll step up and run. Flowers, you can see that athleticism, takes a big hit. But I think he got the first down. Trying to get up.
Dave, I would say that people would think they need to do more of this in their offense with him, but tonight, Willie Taggart's just trying to win.
Yep.
And you see here again, good presence in the pocket. He goes north and south and gets the first down.
So the clock stopped to set the ball. Now it winds. Flowers, short pass, dropped by the tight end Price, who's been their best weapon in the pass game. But that's a big drop. It's 2nd and 10.
Come on, senior captain. Good throw. I like what we're seeing out of Quentin Flowers right now. He's got to catch that ball, step out of bounds, give him a 2nd down and 5. This game is still not over with 2:51. You can score, you can onside kick. That's what the Bulls coaches are telling them, and they have to learn to try to win in this situation.
Yeah, first things first, you got to get into the end zone. 2nd and 10, Flowers. Flowers throws middle. Oh, big hit, incomplete. My goodness. Regis Ball, who's made a couple of big plays. Intended for Bronson. Let's take a listen and a look. Ouch.
Great play. Patient, sat in the middle of the field, curl in route, timed it perfectly. It was a legal hit.
Yep.
Really good football player in Regis Ball.
Legal hit. We've already had 2 Memphis players penalized for targeting in the first half.
Regis is a 5-year senior. You see seniors step up late in these ball games.
3rd and 10. Flowers in the shotgun. Memphis perhaps going to bring a little pressure. Throws short, and falling down is Darius Tice. So it's 4th down, and any hopes that South Florida has rest on their ability to get 8 yards and keep this drive going, and they got to do it quickly.
And you've got to do anything to get the ball past the sticks. You can't throw it away. You can't take a sack. The ball has to go up with some chance for you to get either a pass interference call or catch the ball.
4th down here. Flowers They need 8 to keep their hopes alive. Flowers scrambling. He's got to go downfield. He's in trouble. Quentin Flowers buying time. Heaves it downfield. And it's incomplete. Knocked down with a flag thrown. Wow. Chris Morley. And I thought he timed that pretty well. Flowers, a miraculous job in keeping the play going. And that penalty is going to be against Memphis.
Defense, number 17. Automatic. First down.
Wow, what a break for the Bulls. 15 yards and a first down, and those faint hopes with 2 minutes still to go are alive for the Bulls. Yeah,
Chris got there a little bit early. I think Chris has played an outstanding game tonight. He's been very physical, but he did get there just a little bit early. Really good job by the officials, because that is a key call to keep the Bulls alive in this ball game.
I'm with you. Watching it real time, I thought he timed it well. Watching the replay, Quentin Flowers going for the end zone. It is incomplete.
I've been really impressed with Paxton Lynch tonight. He's everything that we were told. He's big, he's smart. He kept his cool when things weren't going well. He took the game over in the third quarter when he needed to. He's very confident. He's got poise in the pocket. He sees the field well, and he can run. So he has it all.
I mean, you can see why. We talked to a lot of scouts, a lot of people around college football, and the name Colin Kaepernick comes up. And you can see the lanky arms, the long legs, the long strides, those tools that you're talking about. I mean, I think it's a pretty legit comparison. South Florida down the middle, and what a catch! Touchdown! Elkanah Dillon. So the Bulls aren't done yet. Man, that was a heck of a catch. 23 yards. I think he grabbed it one-hand style.
You got to love the fact that Willie Taggart's football team is still competing. And once again, what a great drive by Quentin Flowers. He gets a presence in the pocket. He throws to a guy off the bench, basically, that makes a tremendous catch in Dillon, who was hurt and didn't play against Maryland last week. But these things are going to give this offense enough confidence to start playing better. Minute 49 left. You've got 2 timeouts.
Extra point up, and it is good. So it's 24-17 Memphis with just the 2 time. I mean, I think maybe no matter what, but with the 2 timeouts, I think we'll see an onside kick coming from South Florida. But at least that redshirt freshman, that kid's got a chance to be a good one. He had 126 yards in his college debut. He missed last week against Maryland. I think that's a player we'll see going forward, more involved in the pass game for South Florida.
Yeah, what a great catch. Gives them a chance to win, but it also gives Quentin Flowers so much confidence that he took that team the length of the field to score, to cut it back to 7, and he also overcame a holding penalty, and he made something work on 3rd down and long where he had to scramble forever. Smart play, throwing it up. It also shows you Memphis knocks that ball down. This one's already over. Now they still have hope.
Well, we saw great execution on an onside kick from Memphis earlier in the game. Now Emilio Nadelman. And you got to think this is coming. Memphis will have the hands team up front. They'll have basically everybody up front. Well, the Bulls on the sideline, they haven't given up.
Yeah, Willie Taggart's got to be excited about his kids fighting till the end.
They also have 3 kickers, coach, out on the field. 3 of their kickers are lined up almost in a triangle formation. Who's going to kick it? That guy. And off the hands of Memphis, but out of bounds. Not bad, but there was nobody there to recover. So Memphis will have it, and likely that will end the game. It's not over yet. Second half, he's been solid.
Yes, and Memphis has not had a 4-0 start since 1961 with Coach Smith, so they're excited about Coach Billy Murphy trying to make this work.
So there's a timeout after the short carry on 1st down. So it'll be 2nd down. South Florida stops the clock.
South Florida.
Quick break for us, and we'll come back.
This timeout will be
right
30
after this.
seconds in duration.
Welcome back with about 1:44 left here. Memphis up 24-17. Paxton Lynch looking to get the Tigers to 5-0 on the season. And Lynch is from Florida, played on the other side of the state, but didn't get a whole lot of attention in high school. In fact, it wasn't until an All-Star game when he threw for 237 yards and 3 TDs that people started to take notice of the quarterback. In fact, an article about that game landed on the desk of Memphis coach Justin Fuente shortly after he took over the job at Memphis. So he sent an assistant down to check on Lynch. The guy came back and said, yeah, he's pretty good. Without ever seeing him throw in person, they offered Lynch a scholarship to Memphis. They were pretty desperate at the quarterback position, but they saw him play in several other positions, saw what an athlete he was, and knew that in some way he could definitely help the Tigers. So it's kind of funny when you talk to Coach Fuente about recruiting Lynch, he just laughs because there really wasn't any recruiting of him.
Well, and we talked to Paxton's high school coach, Alan Johnson, who's now is coaching a different high school in Deltona, Florida. But we talked to him this week about Lynch, and he said, well, look, we had no wide receivers. We ran the wing tee. He was a good athlete. We didn't showcase him in our offense, but we all knew he was really, really special. Handoff on 3rd down. South Florida used their final timeout. They stopped Sam Kraft here. So now the clock will wind, and Memphis is going to have to punt the ball back. So South Florida will get the ball back with somewhere in the neighborhood of 45, maybe 50 seconds still on the clock. They won't have any timeouts. They would love to have the one they had to use to get a play call in on their last offensive drive. And they wasted some time there as well. Looking back on it, those seconds, that timeout looked very, very important. But they have a chance to at least get their hands on the ball one more time.
They do. They have a last second shot here.
It's Nick Jacobs trying to pin South Florida deep. Fair catch signal by Johnson. South Florida's got a long way to go, 92 yards or so before they get the ball. Here's the situation for South Florida. They've used their last timeouts. They're down by a touchdown, 44 seconds to go. They need to go 92 yards. Flowers will throw, and it is caught, trying to get out of bounds. They do. A short gain, but they do stop the clock. That's Elkanah Dillon, who caught the touchdown that kept South Florida alive in this one. They're going to have to get some bigger chunks than that, though.
They are good protection. They're trying to get it near midfield with a Hail Mary shot at the end.
Flowers with a little shoulder fake. He's going deep middle. He's going deep sideline. It is intercepted. Regis Ball with the interception. He has had a big game for Memphis. And that's the capper. That will do it. The Tigers will stay undefeated and survive a heck of a challenge from South Florida. That interception will effectively end the game.
Well, Regis Ball again, 5-year senior. He jumps up to a high point. It was a good throw. It had a chance, but he jumps up. He's got good focus on the ball. He tucks it away and brings it down, and that'll end the game.
Well, what a play. And he definitely held that ball. Definitely an interception. Paxton Lynch one more time can come out into victory formation, take a knee, and this will be the final snap of the game.
Most fun formation for a coach or players in a ball game. Give Willie Taggart's team credit. They fought till the end. Memphis continues to be a team that may play in the end.
And I think what you said, Coach, is worth repeating. Memphis is just a step or two ahead of South Florida. I think the Bulls, the pieces are there for them to get there, but they're not quite as far ahead as Justin Fuente and company. Now a bye week for Memphis, a chance to get ready with an extra week of preparation for Ole Miss, regional rival, top 10 team, SEC team, one of the best teams in the country. What a game, one of the biggest games Memphis football's ever had when they suited up again.
I totally agree. Really good facilities here. Willie's doing a tremendous job recruiting. He's even making the 6 counties around here like an in-state area for him. Each year he gets better players. I know he's got some transfers in for next year. They played Florida State down to the wire. They play Memphis down to the wire. They are getting closer.
Well, the victorious coach Justin Fuente down on the field with Allison Williams.
Coach, your defense comes up with the interception to seal the win. How would you describe their performance in the second half?
Well, I was awfully proud of them. We had guys going down left and right, and we're playing 2s and 3s out there, but they continued to battle, and they've been a little bit maligned here lately, and it was really good team win for them to step up and play well.
For your team, you improved to 5-0. The last 4 wins, you've all had to come from behind in. What have you seen with your team, how they respond with their backs against the wall?
Well, we've got a resilient group. They've been through a lot, not just this year, but just, you know, through the process of trying to build this program. And they've got a lot of heart and character. I'd like for us to play a little smarter when we start and a little better when we start, but they certainly are resilient.
Coach Fuente, thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, Allison and Justin Fuente, thanks to both of them. Memphis can celebrate. They are 5-0. A win here in Florida for Paxton Lynch and company. For Mac Brown and Allison Williams, Dave Fleming saying so long here from Tampa. College football scoreboard is next.